Okay, here's an interesting quote about BFR, blood flow restriction training. If you're in pain, this is a no-brainer. And that comes from famous Coach Todd Durkin. Has his own facility in San Diego where he trains a number of top athletes. And some of his past have included Drew Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson. This is his book from 2010. So I think it was about 4 years ago or so, he had a severe injury. He had a back issue, long-term back issue relapse, and a knee problem. He had to have his knee replaced, I believe. But he went through a period of months and months where he just had so much back pain he couldn't work out. And this is a guy who'd been in the trenches for 25 years or more at that point. Also a clinical / sports massage therapist, so knew a little bit about pain. But he had, he set up to 70 different people, tell him, you need to try this, you need to try that. And somebody he trusted said, hey, why don't you try BFR training? And the reason being, you don't have to use a lot of weight, because when you put the the BFR bands on, it restricts the blood flow, so your muscles get fatigued quicker without using nearly as much resistance as weight as you would normally. But the other thing is it releases a lot of hormones, a lot of chemicals you get from intense exercise that help with pain relief, and you get a lot of even though the name is blood flow restriction, you still end up, there again, after the bands are off, you're getting an increase in blood flow and oxygen to the muscle tissues, get increase in circulation to the joints. Just there again, a lot of positive hormones and chemicals being flooded throughout the body when you do BFR. And here, pickleball. So one of the, I also read recently, one of the top masters level pickleball players, I believe I read he's a 21-time national champion. He uses BFR in his training. A very simple reason. Again, less pounding, less stress on the joints, and less time. So that way he's got more time to spend on the pickleball court, and he's got more energy to, when he's on the pickleball court. All of us, we like to do different things. Some of us like to play more sports, but yeah, we know we need to do some strength training, some resistance training. But, we have a limited amount of time, and let's face it, after you hit 50, you don't necessarily always recover like you did in your 20s. I remember being in my early 20s, I'd go out and play basketball 2 hours a day. I'd be fatigued, and the next day it was like nothing happened. I'd do it all over again. I sure that can't do that anymore, and most of us can't. So, sometimes we have to pick our poison, so to speak, as far as where, we spend our time. But a lot of us, we'd rather use the gym only enough to be able to be active outside the gym. That was the way it was for me personally. I got my best results in 3, occasionally 4 days a week in the gym. But that's the beauty of blood flow restriction training. Less time, less stress on the joints and the muscles. So those of us over 50 have had a few injuries, like myself. Now we have more time to spend doing the things we want to do, or just we got time to spend however, without being so sore and painful all the time. And that said, a couple days ago I did I did a squat session with the bands on. I've got a lot of various equipment here, so I don't always do blood flow restriction for my lower body as much as I do my upper, because I've had a lot of injuries to my upper body. But I decided to demo that, and the standard protocol is 30, 15, 15, 15, meaning the first set you do 30 repetitions, rest 30 to 60 seconds, repeat 15 reps, 15 reps, 15 reps. And typically I'm more of a strength guy than an endurance guy, so I will go towards more towards the minute mark. So I decided to split the difference. I did 45 seconds rest in between, and I could really feel it at the end of just those 4 sets. So for me, Yeah, you could. A lot of people, you could just do four sets of bodyweight squats, and you'd be done. That'd be your lower body strength training for the day. And since I overdid it slightly, but not real bad. It's like, yeah. So I got on the vibration platform, just some light ways to circulate the, get the blood flow and the lymphatic flow through my lower body. Helps with recovery soreness, but also, because they're just do a little of this. I can do this lightly and control it versus the foam roller, which would be too stressful right now because I'm not super sore. I'm sore enough that foam rolling wouldn't feel good. But something like this, I can roll through the muscles and get some increase in circulation, speed up the healing process, and so forth. But I really think for the average person over 50, BFR is something to look into. As Todd Durkin spent he said he spent up at least 6 months because he wanted to see what it really felt like. Not okay, it gave him for a couple weeks feeling better, but he decided he thought so much of it, he decided to implement with his elite athletes he trains. They're again NFL athletes, college athletes, I believe some Major League Baseball players too. So he decided to implement with them a couple days a week. Why? Because it takes stress off the joints. Stress that may, have maybe easier for them to get injured, or in this case, stay injury free by incorporating the blood flow training to take stress off the joints. And as he said, hey, it may lengthen some of their careers, but hey, if professional athletes in their 20s and 30s are doing that to get benefits, what kind of benefits does that sound like for the average person of us in our 50s and 60s that, hey, a lot of us, we've had some past injuries, we're beaten up a little bit. We don't have the same bodies we did at 25. So that's one of the great things about BFR is you get a lot done in little time. So you got time and energy to spend somewhere else, but yet you get the results without stress to the joints.